Wonderful. Right, well, I know. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Hindi University. Really excited to have all of you this Sunday. As you know, my name is Ashutosh, and we meet every Sunday, 8 a.m. US Pacific time, which is time on the west coast of the US, to learn about the Hindi language. For those of you who are completely new to Hindi University, you can learn more about us by going to our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Hindi University. To find out all the prior videos that we have recorded. We have over 600 videos by now, at all levels of, Hindi learning. For those of you who are interested in joining our live interactive session that we have every Sunday, you can get all the details on our page, which is tiny.cc/the university, which is our main page. I'm going to just make sure that everyone is muted so there is no background noise. Give me just 1 minute. Which is our main page, where you can find all the details to join the class, as well as the practice sessions that we have on a pretty regular basis. And practice sessions are also designed for different themes. So we have practice sessions for complete beginners, intermediate level, as well as advanced level. And some of them are like story reading, and some of them are will help you with your pronunciation as well. So I definitely recommend you check out this page through and through, and find out about the main classes as well as the practice sessions and the books that we have covered in the past, because some of you are interested in only systematically following certain books. So in the past we have covered a book from Professor Rupert Snell completely. We have covered Professor Usha Jain books as well. And this year the plan is to cover like a blended curriculum for complete beginners. We will be covering two books, which is first one is Pingu Learns Hindi. Okay, Pingu Learns Hindi, and second one is the book from Professor Richard Delacy. He is a professor at the Harvard University for Hindi language. And for intermediate level, we'll still be covering a blended curriculum from Usha Jain and some of the other professors. Okay, and my goal would be to make sure that all the folks, they're like making progress in a parallel manner. The curriculum will get a little bit more like folks who've been learning for a while will be a little bit more challenging as we make progress in the class. It'll be more scenario based, presentation based, and likely we'll have presentations and scenarios in the upcoming classes, where you will see the intermediate advanced level students pushing themselves and role playing certain characters. Okay, so with that in mind, I hope all of you can hear me okay, and there is no sort of the audio issues throughout the class. Feel free to ask any questions. Interaction is definitely an important thing. With that, let's get started. So who remembers what we have covered so far? Who would like to give a quick summary? Feel free to unmute yourself or raise your hand so I can unmute.
What we have covered is to introduce ourselves.
We have learned to introduction. Okay, what else?
And then we have done the possessive case,
Okay.
Ram Kha Beta or Sita Ka Putri or something like that.
Okay, so we have done introduction, so you can introduce yourself, and then we have done the
That's it.
postpositions. Ka,
And
ke.
key.
Very good, very good.
And then we
Who
say
likes to give-
Rons Ka Beta.
Okay, so we have done such as Ram ka beta. What does it
Yeah.
mean?
This is Ram's son.
Okay, Ram's
Son.
right? So we have done very basic introductions. Before introduction, because you are getting started, Vivekanand ji, why don't you tell us what is a quick summary of ka, ke, and ki?
Ka is for masculine.
Mm-hmm. No, but what is solving you? Okay, Ram's son.
Yeah, we use ka because of beta. Beta is masculine, so we use ka.
Okay.
So
And
if you, sorry.
in this one, what is ka?
Sorry, what is ka?
In Ram's son, which part is representing ka?
The sun. The
Okay.
sun will.
Okay. So That's right. Like, so ka is used because son, you are saying, is
Masculine.
singular. But when you want to show the relationship or a relationship between noun and a pronoun with the other noun in a sentence, you used certain postposition. Okay, in English you would use apostrophe s to show the relationship between Ram and his son. Okay, in 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 English you will use apostrophe s. In Hindi you will end up using a postposition called ka, ke, and ki. So while you only have one thing to worry about in English, in Hindi you have different types of variations are there, ka, ke, and ki. So you need to use them based on what is the gender of the thing that Ram possesses. Okay, if the thing we are talking about is masculine singular, you will use Ram ka beta. Let's give some more examples and feel free to post it here, guys, as I am making progress. What other examples you can think of where you will use ka? You can put it on chat or you can speak it, or I can also nominate some of you, however you would like to make progress. Let's say Summer Decker, what do you think? You have Ram ka beta. What other examples you can think of?
Gar ka darwaza.
Very good, right? So you have Gar ka, and what does it mean?
The door of the house.
The door of the house. Wonderful, right? Gar ka darwaza, and darwaza is masculine singular, so you use ka. Anybody else? Ram
By.
Huh?
By.
Bhai is a masculine singular. So can you give some examples? What can be before that? Let's say John ka bhai. How about that? Is that what you were thinking as well? Yeah, John ka bhai. Okay. Anyone else? Ram ka kutta. Okay, wonderful. That's good. What else?
Arjun ka bhai.
Arjun ka bhai. Okay, wonderful. Nitin ka bhai. Okay. What else? Start with simple, okay? We will get to the complicated stuff as well. But start with simple. What other things can you think of?
Natalia ki gari.
Okay, very good. So you said Natalia ki gadi. What is gadi?
Car.
Okay, because it's car, it's considered feminine singular. You use ki here. Okay. The common confusion is, what if I were to, instead of Natalia, if I were to go, let's say Adam, and have this one and gadi here. Okay, what do you think it will be, Natalia ji?
Adam ki gari.
It will still be gadi, right? So it's not based on the subject, it's based on what is possessed by the subject. If what is possessed by the subject is feminine singular, you will use ki. Okay, let's do one more example. Yeah, wonderful. Let's do an example of K also. And this is a quick recap for folks who may have missed it. Okay, someone who's not tried before. Okay, Vidyaji, what do you think? Give example of K for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ram ke bhai.
Ram ke bhai. Okay, and what does it mean?
Ram's brothers, plural.
The plural of brother in English is brothers, but bhai is singular as well as plural in Hindi. Ram ka bhai is Ram's brother, one brother. Ram ke bhai is you. The K is telling you that you're talking about more than one brother. Okay, anyone else? Okay. Martha ji? What do you think?
Okay.
Yeah.
Ram
के कमरे.
Very good. Ram ke kamre, which is
Ram's rooms.
okay. Or let's say if I were to say घर के कमरे, okay, घर के कमरे.
Okay.
Okay, what else? Let's see some more examples.
I have one.
Please go for it.
Waha ke dan, I think.
Which one?
Waha ke dan.
Wah, you mean wah?
His.
Him, okay.
His money, dan.
His money, okay, okay. So let's see how we can do it. So and then dhan is money.
Va ke dan, yes.
Okay.
Or waha ke dan.
So okay, so here it is. I'm going to help you. So when you add, we'll learn like so. Here's the thing. So far, you see, we are using pronouns. Sorry, nouns actually. Okay. Today we will learn about possessive pronouns. So what you've done is you've taken vah, which is he or she. Okay, and you're putting ka, ke, or ki to it. Okay, whenever you do that, the base pronoun that you have, okay, it gets modified. Okay, we'll learn about it today, and it will become, what do you think?
Uske.
Very good, very good. It will become, and let's say you're talking about singular thing. So if it is vah plus ka would be
It would be vaha plus ka, uska.
very good. Uska, and then plural would be uske. So if you're talking about, so in generally in Hindi, it's paisa is singular, paise is plural. Okay. If you want to use plural, it would be uske paise. And if you want to use generally singular, uska dhan, his money.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah, of course, of course. I hope it helps everyone else as well. But don't worry about, we will, in the whole class, I want to cover this one. Okay. And that was the whole point. But again, if you go back to, we're still in the beginners section. So far, we have covered with the minimal stuff, how can you introduce yourself? Okay. And hopefully somewhere in the class, I'll try to fit in that as well. So with the minimal knowledge of Hindi, how can you introduce yourself? We have covered that. We have covered, as Professor Richard Delacy in the second chapter, he talks about postposition, ka, ke, and ki. Okay. He kept it pretty simple. He kept it like, John ka bhai, Natalia ki gadi, and then K is like gar ke kamre. Okay, so far so good. Then he says like it's important at this place to learn about personal pronoun. Okay, so far we have not covered it. So in this class, we plan to cover personal pronoun and possessive pronoun. In Pingu Learns Hindi, I covered personal pronoun a bit sooner, but the possessive pronoun I covered in the chapter number 4. Okay, but in this class, by the end of this class, my goal is that all of you should have a good knowledge of the personal pronoun, okay, and possessive pronoun, and to be able to make good sentences with just 2 words, just like we have it here, Adam ki gadi, Natalia ki gadi. Similar to that, you should be able to use personal pronoun and what comes after that, what is possessed by the person or the personal pronoun. Okay, so in Hindi, predominantly we talk about 7 personal pronouns. Some of them are more sort of like informal, which we will cover it as we make progress in the class. But I want you to at least familiarize yourself with these ones. So let's talk about personal.
There was a question in the group chat. Which is used more?
Huh?
Dan or paise?
It's an interesting one. You can use both of them. Okay. In the colloquial language, paise is used more commonly on a day-to-day conversation. That you will see people referring to, paise or rupiah more commonly because that's the currency in India, like rupiah. Okay. So you will use it. Paise is the more sort of like the coin part of it. And rupiah is the note part. Yeah, dhan is referred to as like a wealth, like uska dhan. Anyone, any other questions before I make more progress further? No questions so far? Right. It may appear very basic, but hang in there. I mean, your goal is to again put yourself in a situation where even if you want to make complicated sentence, like, you know, how do you start with the basic stuff, right? So let's talk about personal pronoun. So in Hindi, we will do common one. So you have main, which is, for folks who are already familiar, main is
I.
I, very good. Okay, main is I. Okay, and then what about you?
Up.
Up, very good. Right, up.
Two.
Okay, up is also referred as, you know, the informal verb is
Two.
Tum.
okay.
Two.
Tu is there, tum is there, very good. And tum, it's all up. You. Okay. So you have I,
Hum.
which is man. Okay, very good. Hum. Hum is
We.
we. You, this one I cannot, like, you know, you have to all memorize it, right? There's no short trick I can give you, but yeah, if you memorize it, it'll be much easier to sort of make progress from here. Okay, what else?
Yaha and Vaha.
Okay, so let's see the singular one. So you have a yeha, and I think it's a common question, like, you know, when I write it in Romanagari, it comes across like ye, but it's two syllables. So you have a year sound and her sound, two consonant, yeha. Okay, and this is written as yeha. Yeha is
He. She.
Yes.
okay, okay. It also means this, yeha, and then yeha. Okay, what else?
Ye. They.
I'm gonna write it vaha as well here, so that way it's vaha. So it's basically he, she, it. Okay, so this is yeha and vaha referred for this, and then he, she, or it. Okay,
But
and then
Vaha is also like that when there's distance, right?
100%, 100%. This versus that, yeha versus vaha, and
Right.
then when you're referring it generally for a person, like, you know, he is a boy, वह लड़का है, right? Or she is a girl, वह लड़की है. Yeah. Okay. And what else?
Ye. They.
Okay. So you have ye and ve. I'm gonna write it in the same order. You have a ye, and then you have ve. And ye is
Plural.
which is
He. Like they or that.
okay. Ye is
This or it can also be like they, right?
it can be these,
These.
those, okay, and it could be they as well. Okay, they. Anything else that we're missing here that you would like, that you're familiar with? Good so far, right? Any questions so far? Anyone? I want to make sure that everyone is familiar with these personal pronouns that we have.
I have a question.
Go for it.
Vo.
Very good. So where do you think vo is in this one?
Ye and I thought ye and vo was this and that.
Okay. Ye and which one?
Every year.
Vo.
You know, every year.
So yeah, that's a very common one. I think in the previous class also this was asked, like, you know, in colloquially, which is a very common thing, right? I mean, it's like when you are talking in a colloquial manner, you know, you would refer to, you know, like instead of वह लड़का है or वह, let me write it down, वह जा रहा है. In a colloquial one, you will say, instead of he is going, let's say if I were to make a small sentence, he is going. And you have not learned verbs so far, but if you were to write वह जा रहा है, colloquially, it's very common for Hindi speakers to say, instead of वह जा रहा है, they will say, what do you guys think?
Wo ja raha hai.
वो जा रहा है, वो चल रहा है. Okay, so there it's you're referring to the same pronoun here. You're just saying वह as वो. Okay, वो जा रहा है. Okay, that's so colloquially that's completely fine. You can say that. Any other observations that you might have noticed for intermediate advanced books in these, like, the way these pronouns are used?
I have a problem here.
Uh-huh.
If you have wo ja raha hai,
Uh-huh.
if we say wo jata hai, will the same thing?
So that's a good one. We will cover it in the tenses. So this wo ja raha hai is present continuous. That means he is going.
Is it a process of going? Is it the act of going?
Active going. Okay. Wo jata hai is he goes. Like he does it on a regular basis. Like he goes to school.
Okay.
Like I teach is मैं संडे को पढ़ाता हूँ. I teach every Sunday. Versus मैं पढ़ा रहा हूँ. I'm teaching right now.
Okay.
Okay, so when we will cover it when we do tenses. Like when you say raha, rahi, rahe, that means it's happening right now. Like you are listening, आप सुन रहे हैं. Okay, versus you listen on a daily basis, right? आप lecture सुनते हैं.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. But let's just talk about pronouns. Any other variations that this is mostly for the intermediate advanced folks who lived or traveled to India. Have you noticed anything interesting in the way the pronouns are being used on a day-to-day basis? Like one observation was like, vah versus wo, right? And that's one of the common cause of confusion as well. Like which one I should use? Like the book says vah, but I'm traveling in India and everybody is wo. Okay. वो दुकान है, like that's the shop, versus वह दुकान है. Nobody will say वह दुकान है or वह shop है.
I'm thinking of uska or unka. Are they
Okay.
foreign?
Okay, so we will, as soon as I'm done with it and I put ka ke key next to it, we will do that as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so if no questions, let's jump ahead. So I hope all of you have written it down. So these are all personal pronouns. Now, when we talk about, yeah, go for it, Rita ji. I think you were saying something. Okay, no problem. So when we talk about Ram and brother, right? And when you want to say Ram's brother, something that is related to Ram, right? So you'll say Ram ka bhai. Okay, what if I want to, so far it's like, we are talking about Ram's brother. What if it is like I'm talking about, instead of I want to say my brother.
Mera.
Yeah, very good, right? So you change the pronoun that you have changed to a possessive one. Okay, so what are those? So just like in English, in Hindi also you cover it a similar way. So you have I in Hindi would be
Mera.
yes. So you put ka key next to it. So I'm gonna just assume that the postposition that we've learned in the previous class, which is ka, ke, and he. So the key difference is in English you will only have my. Okay, whether you have one brother, multiple brother, you have a sister, one sister, multiple sister, it's always my brother, my brothers, my sister, my sisters. Unlike that, in Hindi, it's basically, it changes. So you will have मैं plus ka would be mera, and then
Mere.
Meri, okay, mere, and then Meri. Okay, Meri. Just like in the previous class, when we talk about what is being possessed or related, if it is masculine singular, it's you will use mera. Okay, so if it is one brother, mera bhai, masculine singular. Multiple brothers, mere bhai. Okay, one sister, meri sister, multiple sisters, meri sisters. Okay, just like that, if you were talking about, let's say, gadi, you talk about Natalia ki gadi. Natalia, how will you say my car?
मेरी मेरी गाड़ी
Okay, and if you have, let's say, multiple cars, it would be
मेरा or मेरे गाड़ी.
so.
Oh, I'm confused.
Gadi, singular, plural, it's the same thing.
Right.
It would be meri.
मेरी
Mhm.
मेरी गाड़ी.
So plural of gadi is
Okay.
ladki.
गाड़ी.
So ladki, ladkiyan, gadi.
गाड़ी है.
Very good. Gadiyan. Okay.
गाड़ियाँ.
So this
Okay.
is where it gets interesting. Okay. In Pingulan Hindi, when I thought about it, I was like, Hindi learner needs to know singular, plural, as well as the genders before they learn about the pronoun. Okay, and that's why I'm not trying to critique the book. It's a pretty good book Richard Delacy has written, but Professor Richard Delacy still thinks that we should learn about the possessive pronoun first. Okay, we have not learned, by the way, right now the singular, plural. Okay, that's why it may be some issues so far, like what is the plural of gadi? It's gadiyan. Okay,
गाड़ियाँ.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. So let me write it down more in a better way so that way it makes sense. So let's say you have masculine singular, masculine plural, and you have feminine singular and feminine plural. Okay, so when I put ka and you have a k and you have a ki here, okay, hopefully this table helps. So main becomes mera, mere, and meri. And throughout the class we will practice it, but I want you to remember it. I want all of you to think about it. What comes after mera? If it is masculine singular, you will use mera. Okay, so mera bhai, mere bhai, meri sister, or meri behne. Okay, let's talk about aap. Someone who's not tried before. Rob, what do you think? Aap plus ka would be? And if you need more time, that's completely okay. We have Roy as well. Roy, do you want to try this one? You have to unmute yourself. Okay. Samantha ji, what do you think?
आपका.
Very good. Aapka. Okay. Aap plus K is? Yes. Keep going, Samantha ji.
आपके and
Okay.
आपकी.
Wonderful. Aapke and then aapki. And what do you think it means? You have you, but something that belongs to you, it's basically. So this is I versus my, and you
Yours.
yours. Very good, right? Your. Okay. What do you think? Can you give some examples of aapka? Do something different.
आपका नाम क्या है?
Very good. Aapka naam. Naam is considered masculine singular, right? So you said aapka naam. Okay. Aapka naam. And then next one. Aapke.
आपके भाई.
Aapke bhai. Okay. Your brothers. Okay. And then next one.
आपकी बहन.
Okay. Aapki behan. So these we have done it. Okay. So let's see. Let's see the next one. Tu and tum. Who would like to do that? Sunita ji, why don't you try this one? For tu, it would be.
तेरा.
Okay. Tu is tera. Okay. And then.
तेरे, तेरी.
Very good. Tere and then teri. Okay. Can you give some examples of that?
तेरा भाई, तेरी भाई, तेरी बहन.
Okay. Let's do some more. Like brother and sisters are very common one. Can you guys think of something else? I can
Tera
have
kuta, tere
okay.
kute, teri gadia.
Okay, Trigadia. Okay, wonderful. What about juta? What do you think would be the shoe? Your shoes.
Tera juta,
Okay,
tere
single.
jute.
Okay, very good, wonderful.
And then
What about office?
tera office.
Tera office. Okay, and if it is multiple office, you can say tera office as well. Okay. Let's see. Tum. Tum is like semi-formal. Okay. Who would like to try this one? Someone who's not done before. Sharon ji. Tum, and then you would use ka, ke, and ki with that. It would be
I'm not sure if you said Sharon. Did you say Sharon?
yes.
Tumhara,
Yep.
tumhara, tumhare, tumhari.
So you have tumhara. Very good. Tumhare. Tumhari. Wonderful. Can you give some examples of each of them? Don't use bhai bahan, okay? you've done it multiple times by now.
We can use kalam or kitab.
You can use that, yes.
Tumhara kalam, tumhare kalam, tumhari kitabein or
Okay,
kitab, kitabein.
Okay, so here's the interesting part. What is kalam in Hindi? Is it masculine or feminine?
Kalam, I thought it was masculine for pen, but it's feminine, it looks like.
Yeah, it is. So it's
Feminine.
so it's interesting. If you say in English, pen, it considered masculine. Okay, but if you're saying it in Hindi, kalam, it would be tumhari kalam.
Okay, tumhari kalam.
Okay, and then
So if we want to use tumhara,
Mhm.
maybe we can try makan,
tumhara makan, very good. Makan is
house. Or I
house.
never know if it's house or home actually. Difference
It's,
between makan and gar.
so it's commonly used interchangeably, like they don't like Hindi speakers won't go into the nitty-gritty of it. Tumhara makan, house.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you said kitab also, it would be tumhari kitab.
Right.
Right, wonderful, awesome. Who would like to go next? Hum. Someone who's completely new, who's not done before. We have Anay. Anay, you want to try this one? Hum. What do you think? Hum plus ka. So we have we. Now we're talking about R. Right? When we say we, which is hum, now we are saying from we to our. And you want to say our house, our parents, our laptop, our video game, right? Our football, our team, many things. What do you think it would be? You see the pattern. Main becomes mera, aap becomes aapka, tum becomes tumhara, hum becomes. Okay. Anjaji, if Anna is not available, Anjaji, hum becomes. You have to unmute.
Oh, Hamare?
Hamara, very good. Hum becomes Hamara.
Hamara?
Okay.
Hamare? Hamari.
Very good. Hamare. Hamari. Okay. Can you give some examples? Hamara.
Hamara Kapre?
Okay. So plural.
Hamari. Hamare Kapre.
Very good. Our clothes. Right. Hamare kapde. Our clothes. Okay. What else?
And her, give me a feminine word. Daughters. Hamari Beti.
Okay. Hamari beti. Our daughter. Okay. And if it is more than one daughter, would be
Same thing.
same thing. Hamari betiya. Right. Instead of
Betiya.
yeah. Hamara. Any example? Hamara.
Humara Kamra.
Hamara kamra. Our room. Okay. Very good. Okay. And our friends would be our friends.
Humara Dost.
Hamare dost. Very good.
Hamare Dost.
Wonderful. Right. Awesome. Any questions so far? I hope I'm not going too fast. I'm not going too slow, because you have students from all levels, right? So to make it
I have one question. Two.
Uh-huh.
What is that used for? Tera,
two, it's like, yeah, so when you want to give respect to someone, you will use more by default the formal form aap. Okay, two is a little bit more informal. If you're a very close friend, if you don't mind referring, you will not be using aap. You will end up using two, which is like, show the more sort of tight connection you have. Like, for example, I refer to my very close friend as tu. Okay, tum is semi-formal. You met someone, you have some relationship, but like you don't want to. It's not like your parent where you have to refer to them as aap or your elder. Like, it's a close friend, but you can still refer to them as like tum. To semi-formal.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Hamara dost or hamara doston?
Uh-huh.
Which is it? If it's our friend, is it dost or doston?
So what do you think it will be?
Doston.
Why do you think it would be dosto?
Or maybe one is friends and one is friend.
So singular and plural
Yeah,
is both
okay.
dost. It's both dost. Okay.
Okay.
Mera dost, mere dost. It's the same thing in Hindi. Dosto is whenever you have a postposition after that. So let's say you have a mera dost and you want to use postposition of. We will learn about this concept. Okay. When you want to say like my friend has a football. Okay. Just my friend, so far you will say mera dost. Okay. But whenever you have a postposition after that, let's say K pass is like if they possess something. Okay. Then for singular person you will still say mere dost ke paas football hai. Okay. But let's say you have mere dost, my friends. Okay, mere dost, and then you want to say ke paas football hai. Then it becomes mere doston ke paas football hai. So doston that you're referring to is nothing but an oblique case of plural dost. Okay, we'll learn about oblique case. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a fair confusion, but in Hindi it's basically your a lot of things get modified. Okay, and that's what we refer to them as an oblique case. Okay, let's come back to this one. Yeh vah. Who would like to? Someone who's not done before. Erin, you want to give this one a try? Yeh.
Did you say Kevin?
Yes, Erin. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeh is this. Okay.
See, iska,
Very good. Iska.
iske and iski.
Very good. Iska, iske, and iski. And what does it mean?
It's his or this one's.
Very good. And similarly for vah would be
Uska, uske and uski.
uska, uske, and uski. It's nothing but him and her. I'm going to erase this one so that way. So uska, uski, and uske. So you have a him, her. Can you give some example?
Iska pyar.
Say one more time.
Iska pyar.
Iska pyar. Okay. Let's say you want to say his father.
Uska pita, uske pitaji.
Because we're referring to them
Yeah.
as it will become uske parents or uske mata pita. Okay, or uske pita. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's say you want to say his book.
Uski kitab.
Uski kitab, because kitab is feminine singular. Okay. Let's say you want to say his garden.
Is it uska baag?
Garden. Bag. Okay, you're referring to. Okay. उसका बाग और उसका garden. You can say, if you don't know the word for garden, you can say उसका garden. Okay. Can you think of anything else? Car, you have done it multiple times. I want to do something else. His name.
उसका नाम.
Okay. Uska naam. Okay. So let's say you want to say okay. So okay, I think let's cover this one a little bit later. His favorite. His favorite.
Just उसका favorite or उसकी favorite.
Okay, very good. Uska favorite or uska pasandida. Okay.
पसंदीदा.
I use it quite a lot in the introduction. Okay. What about my favorite?
Just मेरा favorite, I guess. मेरा
Yes.
पसंद.
Mera favorite or mera pasandida. Okay.
पसंदीदा.
And now the goal of this is like just like the way you started your introduction, where you can just use मैं and who pattern. मैं आशु हूँ, मैं engineer हूँ, मैं Indian हूँ, मैं a runner हूँ. Okay, you can make further progress after that, and then you can use the possessive pronoun. So मेरा favorite sport, and then you can say soccer है. Okay, or मेरी favorite city, let's say Paris है. Okay, that's the whole point of this one. Like, how do you, with the minimal stuff that you know by now, how further can you go? Okay, Sharmila ji, go for it. What is the question?
क्वेश्चन नहीं आशु जी, लेकिन आप सही बोल रहे हैं, लेकिन आपने लिखा हिम और नए लोगों के लिए हिम है, लेकिन it's supposed to be his.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
हाँ, तो नए लोगों के लिए ना, it might be a little confusing.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much for catching it. His, her. Yeah. Okay, awesome. Any other thing? I'm glad you caught it.
I don't really understand the difference between iska and uska.
Yeah, what do you think? What's your current? Let me erase it, okay? And then that way, ye way we will cover it, okay? So, what's your current understanding?
I think maybe it's like yahan baha, like distant, maybe.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
That
So
is correct.
is it the closer one?
So closer one you will refer to is as like in general when we're talking about yah and vah, like closer one is this versus that, right? So you have a yah, vah. Okay. So let's say I'm referring to someone which is closer to me, and I'm going to say yah. Let's say yah. I'm thinking of a very simple example to make my point here. So yah iska. Okay, so I want to say yah kutta hai. Okay, yah kutta hai, and I want to say iska naam, let's say Belly hai. Okay, does it make sense now? So I'm referring to someone that is closer to me. Like this is a dog. His name is or its name is Belly or
Okay.
Belly. Yeah. Does it make sense now?
Yeah.
Versus like that is far from me. Vah hospital hai. That is a hospital. Uske and you can put anything after that basically. Uske andar or uske or uska naam also. Uska naam, let's say name of the hospital. Uska naam something hai.
Did you use uske because you were thinking of something with, like, you put it in oblique because you were thinking of a postposition with it?
So I was thinking of something like uske andar or like something that about the hospital. So let's say वह हॉस्पिटल है उसके अंदर और उसके अंदर or not under, but I'm referring to something else. Maybe someone can help me here, any of the advanced student, so that way it kind of
उसके
हॉस्पिटल है उसके पीछे something
very good.
घर है
उसके पीछे घर है. उसके पीछे घर है. Wonderful. Right. वह hospital, that is a hospital. Behind the hospital there is a house. उसके पीछे. Any questions so far, or is it still doubtful? Iska versus uska.
Is it fair?
Please,
Go ahead.
please, I have a question about uske. In the previous example, you say uska pita, but it says uske pita. Why
Yeah.
you say uske? Is because of respect of
That's right. You
father
want to
or
give, when you want to give respect, you will use that uske pita.
okay.
That's
Thank
the
you.
singular. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. We'll cover more examples of it, but right now, as long as you understand, like this, यह become iska, वह become uska, that is good enough. Okay, we will do some more sort of like examples right after that, so that way you will cover it. Okay, just like that, I want to cover the ye and ve as well, so that way you have the entire table in front of you. Okay, then start with like the simpler one, simple like 2-letter examples. Okay, so you have a ye, we covered it ye, and then we covered ve, ye, and then ve. Okay, and what are the examples of this? It's basically these, those, and then you become ye is ka, ke, and ki. What do you think?
Inka, ukka.
Very good, right? You have inka, inke, or inki. Similarly, ve would be
Unka, unkay, unki.
unke and unki. We will cover examples. Okay, I know some of you are thinking, which is a good thing, we should be, right? I mean, so we will use them in the examples. Okay, so I want to write down some examples for you. I want you to try it out first, and we'll take 5 minutes for that one. Okay, so I'm going to write down. You have your, and this is for everyone, this exercise. You have your papers, plural. Okay, so you have a number 1, your papers, his water bottle, okay, his water bottle is there. Then you have your key, formal. Okay, your key. And if you don't know the Hindi word for it, you can just use the English, your key. Okay, then you have their clothes. I'm going to erase it. Their clothes, and then you have, I'm going to do one more, actually a few more. Fifth, you have his shoes, and then her shoes, and then you have our table. So this is a sort of a in-class exercise for all of you. Okay, now that you know the possessives of the pronouns, like your, his, their, her, how will you make these sentences? Still very simple sentences, and right after that we'll have like a small presentation. You can type it as you make progress in the chat. Jade, how are you doing? Okay. Julie ji, what do you think? Let's start with the first one. Your papers.
Tere papers.
Okay. Let's say you want to use the more formal one would be
Aapke papers.
आपके papers or आपके papers is correct. You can say कागज also. आपके कागज. Wonderful. आपके कागज. His water bottle. क्रियाने. His water bottle. Meek, you want to try this one? His water bottle.
उसकी पानी बोतल.
Okay. उसकी.
पानी की बोतल.
Very good, right? उसकी पानी की bottle और उसकी bottle also you can say उसकी bottle. Okay.
Ashu, can I ask a quick question here?
Yeah.
I find that we defer to uski more so than iski, though I think that you can use iski, shishi in this question number 2.
In the question number 2, you're saying, use iski pani ki bottle.
Yeah, because we don't know the location of the bottle, so would not iski work in?
That is correct. Like by default, I just go to the uski one.
So it is a default, right? Because that's what I noticed, that we tend to use the uski more than the iski.
100%.
Okay.
Very good observation. Right?
Okay.
By default, you just go to uski.
I'm sorry, I have a question. When she asked that, it made me wonder. So she said we don't know the location of the bottle. So is the iski based off the location of the person, or maybe something else with the sentence, like what they have?
So the
Like,
question.
if they say they left their water bottle, for example, the water bottle's far, but the person you're referring to is right next to you. Are you talking about the bottle or?
So in this case, it's referring to the possession. Like, it's basically he, वह, versus uski bottle, like his bottle. Okay. So right now, it's basically, this is a possession, right? So it's a मैं versus मेरी, like मेरी bottle versus uski bottle. So I think if the question is the location, I don't think the location is placing, like, the role here, if that's the confusion. Like his water bottle is by default iski. I guess the question was also like, can I refer to it as like, iski bottle versus, like, when do you say iski bottle versus uski bottle? That was the thing. And by default, I just go to the uski bottle. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's what she asked, but she said something about, like, she mentioned the location of the bottle, so I wasn't sure if it's based on the person, as in like this and that, or if it's based on the possession.
The thing is, like, even for this one, like, even for the possession one, it's very easy to think about, like, what will you say, iski bottle or uski bottle, right? Even if you remove the location aspect of it, you will still have these two possibilities for that. Yeah. Kevin Ji, you are raising your hand.
Ji, I was wondering. I always thought that pani was masculine.
Okay, which is fine.
Or is it feminine or masculine? Because then it would be uske pani ki bottle, right? If it were.
So, what do you think is placing?
We're talking about the bottle.
Yeah, we're talking about the bottle.
Yeah.
So you're looking at the gender of the bottle.
Bottle is feminine.
Okay, of course, yeah. Okay. So, yeah. Okay, I got it. Yeah.
Let's do this one quickly. Your key. Patricia Ji.
Okay. Your key. आपका चाबी.
आपकी चाबी.
आपके चाबी.
Very good. Or if it is plural, would be
आपकी चाबी
Very good. आपकी चाबियाँ. Wonderful. Their clothes. Let's do a little bit fast. Their clothes.
उनका कपड़ा जी
उनके कपड़े. Very good. उनके
कपड़े जी
कपड़े. Wonderful. उनके कपड़े. Okay. Let's do this one. His shoes. Someone who's okay. Go for it.
उसका जी
Okay. Plural.
उसके
Very good. So it would be
उसके जो
उसके जूते और उसके जूते और उसके shoes. Okay. Wonderful.
उसका
Okay.
जो
Same thing. Her shoes.
इसके जूते
Same thing. Again, उसके जूते.
okay I'm sorry उसके
Our table. Last one.
हमारा मैच
Table is
हमारा
family.
मैच हमारी मैच
हमारी मेज और हमारी मेज और हमारी टेबल. Either way is fine. Okay. Still very simple stuff. Okay. The homework for all of you is still kind of think about at least 10 sentences about how you can use these possessives. Okay. And don't try to make longer. Like right now we're still looking for nouns. Okay. I can change it to something as well. Like, you know, I can change from our table. I can say my feeling. Okay. Instead of or हमारी feelings or हमारी भावनाएं. Okay. So I can change to them as well. Like, so that, you know, I plan to do it. So we'll try to practice more in the next class about, you know, the variations of it. But I'm gonna directly jump into it. This class we try to put the table and all, but next class we'll do more and more sort of exercises. Okay. We have some time left and we have an awesome presentation prepared by our student Leah Ji. So
I was looking at the time. I thought, there's no time. Yes.
No, the time is left. Everyone please stick around. She put together a lot of work and I'm still trying to find the balance, but as we make progress, the time will be equally divided for the beginners as well as the intermediate advanced. For the intermediate advanced, you guys have to always prepare in advance. So, and I have certain ideas because you guys are doing a lot of stuff in practice sessions. Maybe whatever you do in the practice session can be used as an outcome or sort of an exercise here. Okay. So with that, I'm going to make Leah Ji, give me 1 minute. And she wrote something about her magical garden, right? So we'll hear about that, right?
I'll give it a try.
All right, so give me 1 minute. I'm going to have to add you. So you have to turn on the, okay, you have to, how do I add?
But I can just speak. You don't have to add nothing, no?
I think we can have both of us.
More pressure. Thank you.
No, it's okay. No pressure.
Okay.
Right, both of us. Okay. Go for it.
Okay. एक छोटी सी कहानी. याद कादा हमें सब अपनी समस्याओं, अपनी परेशानियों को भूलना चाहिए और भले ही सिर्फ थोड़े समय के लिए यथार्थ से सुख स्थान भागना. मेरे दादा दादी का बगीचा मेरा सुख स्थान है. वहाँ पेड़ों, फूलों और चिड़ियों के बीच में मैं अपने पूरे बचपन के लिए मेरे दादा दादी की कहानियां सुनती रही. अब आपको समझना चाहिए कि यह कोई आम बगीचा नहीं था, करामाती था. वो एक छोटा सा बगीचा था. उसमें एक लकड़ी की मेज थी और 4 बड़ी बड़ी लकड़ी की कुर्सियां भी थी. वे चारों तरफ से पेड़ों और तरह तरह के फूलों से घिरे हुए थे. दिन के दौरान जब कभी सूरज चमक रहा था तब हम पेड़ों की ठंडी छाया में बैठेंगे. जब हवा चल रही थी तो मुझे ऐसा लगा जैसे पत्ते मुझसे फुसफुसा रहे हों. शाम होते ही चांदनी के अलावा बगीचे में दीपक जल उठे. मुझे मानना पड़ेगा कि वो बगीचा दुनिया की सबसे शांत और खूबसूरत जगह थी. अब भी मुझे ऐसा लगता है. मेरे दादा दादी बहुत ही खास लोग थे. हर चीज के बारे में कुछ ना कुछ जानते थे. हमेशा वे मुस्कुरा रहे थे. वे कहते थे कि अगर हम दुनिया को मुस्कुराते हैं तो दुनिया हमें वापस मुस्कुराती है। वे दरिया से और प्यार से हर दिन फूलों की खुशबू में मुझे दिलचस्प कहानियां सुनाते थे। उन्होंने अपनी कहानियों से मुझे बहुत कुछ सिखाया। हर किसी को आदर करना, चाहे इंसान हो, जानवर हो, पौधा हो या चीज हो। बदले में अपेक्षा के बिना किसी की मदद करना और जो भी हो मुस्कुराते रहो। मेरी इच्छा है कि जल्दी ही अपने दादा दादी की कहानियां लिखूं ताकि मैं उन्हें कभी नहीं भूल जाऊं।
Amazing. Wonderful. This is great. You guys, you did wonderful. Okay.
Yeah, great.
This was amazing. Okay.
Thank you.
Don't you guys think? Yeah. You see, you have a lot of comments, right? I mean, so from across, you represented your, grandparents' magical garden pretty well. So you should be happy about that. I'm going to stop the broadcast and,